Welcome to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. I am Victoria Ciresi, also known as Vic, and I serve as the Vice President of Culture at Burn Bootcamp headquarters. So let's just get started. How long have I been a part of the Burn family? I love this question because I am going on 9 years as a Burn member, and I always start with my member journey. I remember I had just had my third child. His name is Luciano, and he just celebrated his 9th birthday, but he was brand new to our family. And when I drove by, we used to be called the Fit Community of Moms, drove by the sign and it said, Fit Community of Moms. I said, this is my place. And so I walked in and I never looked back. Also, as a former franchise partner. So my Burn journey took me from member to becoming my own boss and opening 2 Burns in the Atlanta market, to now serving on the HQ team, where I get to live what I love every day in the HR space and with Burn. And so that's kind of my Burn journey. I did take leg day today, and the Flex Your Fitness Challenge, amazing. Okay, next question. So, legacy and being remembered. This one always kind of hits home because, as I shared, I'm a mama. And I think it's so important that we as moms and dads leave a legacy, or leave a how can we be remembered by our children. And I have this saying in my house, I think it comes from Cinderella, but it's have courage and be kind. And so that's part of me leaving a legacy for my boys. I have 3 boys. It's just showing them to do the hard things, have courage in what they do every day, and then showing kindness in everything that we do. And it's kind of fitting. I'm actually wearing this shirt today, unplanned, that says be kind and love Burn. So what better way to just show that legacy is just constant kindness and loving your fitness. So, so what's the best compliment that you've ever received? And this kind of sits with me. This was when I was really, really young. I'm one of 9 children, and that's a really, really big family. I'm right smack dab in the middle. So there's a boy, 7 girls, and a boy. And I just remember, you know, whenever you're part of a large group like that, siblings, it's hard to stand out. And I remember one of my teachers, is my 4th grade teacher, Mr. Turner, who was amazing. He had all 3 of my older siblings, and then me. And what he said to me, which kind of stuck with me, and it reminded me that I always wanted to carry that forward, is you're always smiling. And that made me feel so special that he saw me. And it goes back to that legacy that I choose to leave is for everybody that comes in contact with me, is having joy in my journey and do it with a smile on my face. And so, you know, there's times where we're going through stuff, and you know, you never know what someone's going through, but if you have a smile on your face, you never know what someone's going through. And it just shows kindness, and it shows how you can really just be a safe space for people. And so that to me was just so impactful, that he saw me. And what was kind of fitting in 4th grade is also when my parents divorced. And so he knew personally I was going through stuff, you know, in my family, but I always was smiling. And so that just resonated with me. And so that's a big takeaway. Hopefully you see the smile this whole time. Okay, so here's a good one. What's an insult that you've received that you've been proud of? This one, so my maiden name is Softy, S-O-F-T-Y. And so growing up, I was Victoria Softy. I was also an athlete. And this is not really an insult, but I remember I played volleyball in high school. And I remember a newspaper article had a headline that had my name in it. And they did it in a way to grab the attention of the people reading it. But once you started reading the article, it actually said, she's no softy. And so it was meant to be like a jab insult that by using my name, but turning it around in such a positive. And that always stuck with me. And I still kind of have that article somewhere in a scrapbook of, you know, being not a softy. And love my maiden name, love my parents, but it's my goal in life to run towards things and be goal-oriented. And so thankful for my new name, Ciresi. Okay, so there's a few questions that I definitely know I want to answer for you guys. My morning routine. So I am a very structured person, and I pride myself, honestly, of having a strong morning routine. And so three things I'll share with you. One is Monday through Friday, I get up at 4 a.m., 100%, 4 a.m. And I've been doing this now since I was a franchise partner for Burn back in 2016. So this is now going on, how many years is that? 8 years? 6 years. Forgive me. My math isn't great. So 6 years now, I've been getting up at 4 a.m. Monday through Friday, and that really sets my whole day up. And the reason I started getting up at 4 is I had team members that served in my gyms that had to get up at 4, and I was a remote owner. And so for me, I couldn't expect someone else to do something that I wouldn't do myself. And honestly, it was one of those habits that I started that changed the game for me. I got up before my kids woke up. I got my workout in. I'm a 4:45 a.m. camper, pretty much Monday through Friday. Occasionally, I'll miss an arm day. Sorry, Matt Morris. But that just starts your day. You get your workout. You get your quiet time, which is number 2. So number 1, get up early. Get your quiet time. So whatever that is for you. For me, it's getting in the Word. It's, opening my Bible. It's getting time for just me to have time with clarity for my day. And then number 3, it's literally looking at my day ahead. So what are the things that I want to accomplish that day? Because if I don't do that, I find that my day runs itself. And I know there's people out there watching that have this happen in their own lives. And so I would highly encourage, if you can, if you have littles, get up before your littles get up. Move your body in some way. If it's, doing a live workout, we have our virtual workouts, getting into camp, even just going for a walk with your dogs, something to get your heart rate going, move your body. And then number 3, map out your day. You will be so successful. So hopefully there's something there for you. And then I do, Saturday is my day to sleep in a little bit and kind of get recharged. But Monday through Friday, that's been my game plan for 6 years, and I'm not going to change it. Okay, 3 things that are always in my refrigerator. So I haven't talked much about my husband, but I freaking love that man. And one of the things is a shout out for him. But I would say, number 1, I love fresh fruit. So I have a habit of blackberries, raspberries, and fresh mango. I always have that in my fridge, and they're kind of like my go-to if I need just like a quick little indulgence. To me, the mango, it's amazing. And so you'll always find that. That's for me selfishly. The second one would be coffee creamer. I'm a coffee junkie, and I probably need to get away from the creamer at some point in my life, but I just can't right now. And so my husband and I, Anthony and I, we both love our coffee, and that's always in our fridge. And then hard-boiled eggs. So I raise chickens. I have 11 chickens, and this is kind of a shout out from my husband. Protein is a go-to. It's a staple. And so every week I always hard-boil our eggs, and I have a little bin in my fridge that has hard-boiled eggs. So those are 3 go-tos that you're always going to see in my refrigerator. Oh man, I got to give one more shout out to my husband. So that quiet time I mentioned, so remember, get up early, have some quiet time, and move your body, brainstorm your day. My husband and I actually started doing quiet time together too. So for married couples, I recommend getting that time also if you have kids with your spouse. It's something that Aunt and I started doing last year, and it has been a game changer for our marriage too. So that intentional time, whether it's once a week or every day or, as often that works for your schedule, it's just kind of realigning. I know Devin and Morgan do it, their same page meetings where they're getting their time together. It's so important for married couples to get that time together. And so we started doing that as well. So I love this question, and it's funny, it might change in the future, but for right now, there's the thought of who are the 3 most influential people in your life. And I think of that, there's so many people that have influenced me, but what comes to mind is I think of kind of like my past, who influenced me growing up, who's a huge influence to me right now, and then, who do I see in the future? And so here's how I think about it. My grandfather, my grandpa passed away a couple years ago, but I was named after him, and his name is Victor. And he was one of the people, me growing up, that I felt like influenced me the most. First, because there was that respect because I was named after him. He was a doctor, and I mentioned that I'm one of 9 kids. So I have 6 sisters. And when you grow up with a lot of sisters, you know, there's competition, healthy competition, and I hope all my sisters see this. But I grew up, what I always said was the ugly duckling. And I just remember my grandpa pulling me aside and telling me, "You're beautiful." And as a young woman who was a little bit awkward, I was super tall and I had big feet, and I still have big feet, and I'm super tall. But my grandpa just made me feel so beautiful and special. And guys, if you saw my sisters, they're all gorgeous. And so I'm thankful for that confidence that he gave me as a young woman growing up, that it was important to me. So he influenced me in that way. But he didn't stop there. He didn't say it's just about your being outwardly beautiful. He challenged me, and this is where I feel like the biggest influence was, he challenged me to find the inner beauty, and by doing things that fill you up and that you're passionate about. And so I love school, and so I pursued school, and that was huge. And he always told me, you know, go to college, do big things for yourself. And so that's past. Present is my husband, Anthony. This guy, you know, if I could talk about him for an entire podcast, I would. But he's the most influential person to me right now because he knows me so well. And I always say he complements my gifts. So his gifts complement my gifts. And so I'm very driven, very goal-oriented. But a lot of times I'll start something and I can't finish it. That guy's got tenacity like I've never, ever, ever seen before. And so he is literally the person that helps me see my dreams come to reality, and he challenges me to be my best version of myself. So thank you for that. And then third and final influencers are my children. So my 3 boys, that's more future. Like, I love asking their feedback of like, how can I do things better? And, you know, from their lens, like as they're growing up, this next beautiful generation of, you know, it's not just, you know, I don't want to be like the grumpy old parent that's kind of just set in my ways. Like, they challenge me to think about things differently and to just it's beautiful to see how your children can actually influence you and the things that they bring. And so just past would be my grandpa, present is my husband, and my future influencers are my 3 boys. And I know I said Luciano earlier, so I got to shout out all of them: Salvatore, Dominic, and Luciano, my little fellas. So the last question, just to, you know, one final question would be my favorite burn protocol. What's my favorite protocol day? And this has also evolved. So I'm coming on 9 years being a member at Burn, and it's shifted. And so I've always loved leg day. And I think the reason that I love leg day is I feel so confident after crushing a leg day. And I think it comes from not feeling very confident with my legs. And so women, I've talked with so many, my sisters, my burn sisters, we just struggle with our legs. Like I'm the type of person that I struggle in the summertime with shorts. And so a leg day for me just literally makes me feel so confident when I walk out those doors at camp. But I'll tell you, there's other days that I'm trying to encourage myself to love. And so I tend to skip arm day because it's not my favorite. But I find that days when I challenge myself and push myself, arm day is slowly becoming a favorite day of mine. And then I always love cardio. I'm kind of a cardio junkie, so athletic conditioning. I used to love Metcon until Matt started programming it. But if I just had to pick one, I'd say it's leg day, and it's really just it's that confidence that I need that I can go and wear those pair of shorts. Guys, thank you so much for joining in today. I've really enjoyed this time. If you're ever in the Lake Norman area, definitely come take camp with me. I would love to be on the floor. I won't go to 4:45 if you prefer a different camp time. And keep challenging yourself to grow, and you know, don't stop. Like, keep challenging yourself, believe in who you are, and if you're looking for an opportunity at Burn HQ, I'd love to get your resume. You can like this, subscribe to it, you know, reach out to us, and I'd love to connect with you. And as always, we end everything with 2 claps on 2, 1, 2.